Hey guys, good morning. It is, I can't believe it, October 28th. Another month has come and gone, and before we know it, we're going to be celebrating the new year. So I hope that you have not given up on your Success Club goals. I'm going to keep pushing that topic. We have 3 full days. So if you haven't hit yet, don't, your leaders, you should not be quitting anyway, but right now is the time to put the foot on the gas. So you know that. Don't forget to really go down into your downline and put together more fall classic teams, because that is what's going to drive volume and cooperation and support and everything during November, which we all know November, December are historically slower months. But like last night I was on a call, and there's no reason why you can't find people that want to work out right now. I mean, there are people like me out there and Erin that are committed to a program and are not going to stop because of the holidays. There's tons of people out there that the perspective is, and this I spoke to my life coach about it. I briefly shared it the other day, but we were talking about the business and, setting goals for the end of the year. And we started talking about how, I don't know why I mentioned that November and December and usually October are pretty slow months. And I said, people are kind of like making excuses that they don't want to start right now because, it's the holidays and they'll wait till January. And she's like, well, you need to really come up with some really deep questions to ask them on what the holidays mean to them. And we need to start separating what the true meaning of Thanksgiving is from associated with food. Like, why does Thanksgiving automatically have to be about pigging out? Like, why are we associating one with the other? And usually it's because people associate Thanksgiving and the holidays with connection with people. And when you connect with people, you're usually eating. So it's a connection that we need to separate. We need to go back to celebrating, being having gratitude and giving thanks instead of making Thanksgiving all about eating. So yes, that's hard, but that's like really digging into people and asking the right questions and making them see that if they start now, they're actually ahead of the game. They'll lose double the amount of weight than someone who chooses to wait. They'll build twice as much muscle as someone who decides to wait. They'll be ahead of the game. They'll feel good going into the holidays versus lethargic and, tired and feeling fat and not fitting into that awesome dress that they want to wear on New Year's. So we got to really hone in on those aspects and find the people that are willing to make the commitment. Like I said before, you can go with a challenge group that's like a balls to the wall type challenge group and get people ready for hammer and chisel, or you find the people who want to maintain and you give them a more loosey challenge group of where they can celebrate on the weekends, but keep them really on Shakeology every day and focusing on their nutrition 5 days a week and keep them working out 5 days a week. So there's options in this time of year. It doesn't have to be like you walking away and saying, okay, that's it. I'm just going to wait till January. Please relay that to your teams and, get people on board to commit to a program, to finishing it, to getting results during this time of the year so that when January comes, people are looking to you for help. So let's get to Erin. No more. I'm going to stop preaching now. I was never a preacher before. Now all of a sudden I've turned into one. Okay. So Erin Young. So Erin is my bestie from the Hammer and Chisel test group. She's amazing, super sweet. I love her. We killed the program, and then we both got chosen for the infomercial. So we got to bond, and we had a really good time. She's really awesome, down to earth person. So I'm really honored that you said yes to being on the call today. She's a 2014 elite coach. She's a 10-star diamond, which you advanced during the test group, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a 1-star in your second CBC, success of 10 All-Stars, success of 5 All-Star Legend. She spoke at leadership and shared her story and did an amazing job. She has 2 children and she's married. Her husband's a teacher. She was a teacher as well before, but she walked away from her career. And I'm going to turn it over to her. She's just going to give you some tips on staying organized, which we all need, and just pushing through. So thank you, Erin, for your time.
Oh, thank you, Becky. You guys have the best leader in the whole world. Like, seriously. And I know that you know that. But Becky was very inspiring to me during the test group. And even in the business, and when she spoke at leadership, it was phenomenal. And she's just one of those people that she's very motivating to me. So I hope that you realize that you have a crazy, amazing, cool leader, and that you just take all the inspiration she gives you and puts it into action. I kind of feel that I'm a little bit of a preacher myself, but I'm also a teacher because I was a teacher for 14 years. I was a high school English teacher, and I just retired from my teaching job this year. I spent 2 years building my business so that I could be the mom that I wanted to be. And I just learned a lot of things through my failures over the past 2 years. I have been a coach for 3 years, but my business journey kind of started over the past 2 years. And to build my business to the point that I needed to be able to stay at home, I had to recreate an income to replace my previous income in teaching. And so by doing that, I had to become ultra efficient and organized with my time and my Beachbody business. And, I could not let my workouts go. I could not let my family go. I had to protect my priorities, which are my marriage and my family. And at that time, it was my teaching job, but also create a business and leaders, because I knew that if I wanted to recreate and compensate for a teaching income, and you guys, I taught in a really nice school district. I was near the top of the pay scale. I have my master's degree. I had to replace a lot. And I was teaching awesome honors kids. I mean, it was a really great job. It was what some people would call a dream job, but everything changes and our goals change. In order to do that, and compensate for that and really make a no-brainer kind of decision, I knew that I needed leaders on my team, that I couldn't do this alone. And I hope that you guys as diamonds have kind of realized that actually reaching those big goals and those dream big goals takes a lot more than just you and your hard work, but it also takes creating a team of leaders who are also pushing towards their big goals and their big dreams. And so a lot of what I did in 2 years was not only build my personal business, but I built my team, and I learned a lot. And so hopefully I'll be able to share a lot of that with you. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. I have a couple of visuals for you. I'm a teacher, so I like that kind of stuff. And don't judge anything here on my desktop. There's all kinds of disorganization. I call it organized chaos a lot of times. This is just a visual that gives you kind of a view of my journey and what is pushing me in the back of my head. My journey with Beachbody started as a physical transformation, and I wanted to pay it forward. And maybe a lot of you started the same way. But through that physical transformation, I came down with my one word. I kind of feel like that we all have one word guiding us each day. In my business, it's elevate. And in my personal journey, it's believe. And I have always tried really hard to believe in myself no matter what, and believe that anything is possible. In my business, I always want to try to elevate my personal business and elevate my team, elevate my diamonds. And so you can kind of see my physical journey and where that's taken me. I think as leaders, we have to be all in on our physical journey, because I think Becky's probably talked to you about it before. You've seen her post about it. But the moment that we go all in on our journey, amazing things start happening within our team, but also our personal business. And we really have to believe that no matter what, anything is possible. As far as my why goes, that's what has driven me. It's forced me to do things I never would have done before. And my why has a lot to do with my family, and it has a lot to do with my team. When I got to retire from teaching this year and walk out of the doors and without a tear or anything, because it was exactly what was supposed to happen, I said, I want someone else to feel this way. And that's how my personal journey started. That's how my business started. I wanted someone else to feel confident about their body. Well, now I want someone else to be able to leave a career because they want to do what's best for their family. And that is really what's driving me a lot right now in my business. But it started with my children. It started with putting my son on the school bus and It started with watching our neighbors get on the school bus and put their children on the school bus, and me saying, I'm supposed to be the mom that does that. I'm supposed to be the mom that takes my kids to school. And so 2 years ago, that epiphany struck me. And that's when I said, no matter what, I'm going to be the mom that puts my son on the school bus. And I don't know what that means. I don't know how to do it, but it's going to happen. And so that's when Believe started. And that's where deep down, and this is the preacher coming out of me, we have to rely on the power of positive thinking and create a belief in ourselves that that big goal and that big dream, man, however scary it is, that it is going to happen, because whatever we believe inside does become our reality. It really, really does. Because I had the vision of being the mom that put her son on the school bus with no evidence that it was going to happen, with no idea how it was going to happen. But I believed it. I actually visualized it in my head. And that happened this year. And I worked my tail end off for 2 years doing that. And that came from creating a team. And so I know that that's probably what most of you are trying to do, or what you are in the middle of doing, is you're building your team. You're building your own dream team. My team is called the Fit Fighter Nation. And I truly believe that we are fighting. We're fighting every day for our dreams. We're fighting every day for our health. We're fighting every day to save the lives of other people. And when you create that fighting culture within your team, I think amazing things happen. And I know that on this journey, we feel and believe and know that this graphic is absolutely 100% true, because it has been true for me. We have coaches that are going to join our teams, and they're going to think that success in this business looks like the left. Maybe you did, and we quickly realized that it's very muddy and it has lots of twists and turns, and the road to success is actually really difficult, and it's really hard, and we want to quit. I mean, there's so many times, even as an elite coach last year, I was like, why am I doing this? Like, what the heck? Isn't it just so much easier to get up and just go to a job where you kind of already know what you're doing, and you know what the expectations are, and you kind of know what to expect? Maybe that's easier, but that's not what's best. That's not using our own belief in ourselves and letting amazing things happen, letting magic happen. So we have to take those moments and realize they're going to happen, and realize the twists and turns are going to happen, recognize that within our team, share it with our team, and work really hard until those dreams come true, because we know it's not going to be easy, but it's absolutely 100% worth it. And that's the absolute truth. And, I hope that you take Becky's story and my story and the story of everyone else around you, and you realize that it's really hard work, and we have to help our coaches realize that it's really hard work, but it's absolutely worth it. And this is why it's worth it to me, because this is the visualization that I had in my head for 2 years. And this is the truth. This is the reality. What I imagined in my head and in my heart became a reality. I had no evidence. I had no idea how it was going to happen, but it happened because I let my belief shine through. I let my dreams live, and I lived them out loud. I shared them out loud. I shared them with my team. I shared them with my husband, who thought I was a crazy woman for saying, I want to leave my job. He and I were both teachers. We taught in the same school, and we met teaching. We grew up teaching. We got married. We had children, all working in the same place. His classroom was across the hall from mine. We saw each other every day. And so here I am, oh man, shaking it up, right? I mean, because seriously, that's what he knew. It's what he liked. It's what he relied on. And I decided to change that. And that was really hard. It was really hard to get past that point and to almost convince him that our dreams for our family could be bigger and could be better. And we didn't have to settle for anything. We didn't have to say no to our children's passions. We didn't have to say no to family trips to Disney World. That we could say, you know what? Sure, we can do that. And it's absolutely totally worth it when you get to say yes and you get to be there for the moments that you want to be there. My story's not your story. My dreams aren't your dreams. But whatever your dreams are, they truly 100% matter. And you have to believe that those dreams can become a reality, as cliche as that sound. But I think this picture is your evidence of that. So let me get into some nitty gritty. So we have belief, but we also have to have goals for ourselves. And because we can dream big all day long, but when we get down to it, we have to be able to set goals. And so this picture represents two main points that I'm going to make next. One, it's about our goals, but also it's about the systems that we have in place as diamond and above coaches. We have to be able to create and set goals for ourselves, or we're just floundering. Like, why are you working this business? What are you working towards? But I firmly believe that you have to set your goals in 3 months at a time kind of time span here. And that's what works best for me. So I set my goals based on a 3-month period. And it's kind of coincidentally, right, that our business is divided up into quarters. So what are your goals for the third quarter for you, but also your team? It is absolutely appropriate to set goals for your team. How many Fall Classic teams will your team have? How many lives will your team change? How many coaches will hit Success Club? What's your Success Club base for your team? Meaning, how many of your PS coaches will hit Success Club? Those are goals that are great, quarterly goals that become monthly goals that create daily goals for yourself. And so with that being said, we have to not only be that role model of a leader that creates these goals, but we have to share them and also share that expectation among your own coaches and your own leaders on your team. Because if we're leading by example and sharing, amazing things happen because that empowers your leaders, which I'm going to get to in a moment here. But I always start with 3 months. I always start with quarterly goals. And I look at my income. I look at my recruiting numbers. How many coaches will I recruit? What will my weekly and monthly income be? What do I need it to be? I'll look at my Success Club points, but I also look at my team. What will my team do? And what are my expectations for my team? And that leads me to monthly goals and then my weekly and my daily goals. Because if I sit down to work my business without a goal in mind, aren't we kind of spinning our wheels and not really going anywhere? Like, what are we hoping to accomplish? What are our goals? And so in order to achieve goals, I really think you need systems. And I feel like this was one of those no-brainer, aha, duh moments of my business. But the moment that I systemized my quarter, my month, my week, my day, and shared that with my team, I became duplicatable, right? Because once I put these systems in place, they knew what was expected, it was predictable, and they are doing the same. And my coaches who are taking my lead and who have systemized their goals into their business are now successful. And one became diamond last week and another one's going to be a diamond tomorrow. Like, it's crazy how once we put these little small, really no-brainer, simple systems in gear, in motion, we become predictable, we become easy to follow, and then it's duplicatable. And that's what we want to be. A good leader is someone that someone wants to follow, but also that's duplicatable, especially in this business. So when I systemize just my month, so this is just an example, but every month of my business looks like this. Okay, it looks like this. The details are maybe a little bit different, but every month I have set non-negotiable goals for myself and my personal business. And that's huge because we can't forget our personal business. When we become diamonds, when we become leaders, we tend to start leading more. And that's awesome. And we tend to start taking away and carving a little bit of our personal business time and giving it to other people on our team and leading our team and answering questions and having calls. And that's awesome. But we always want to have our non-negotiable personal business goals. We can never forget about our personal business. And so, like, for example, for me, based on my goals, my income goals, my Success Club goals, my, just personal goals, I know that no matter what, these are non-negotiable. I'm going to hit Success Club 10 and recruit 5 coaches. And I have to make that happen. I have to do the daily work that's going to make that happen. Then I have non-negotiable activities. As a coach, I'm always going to do these things every single month of my business. I'm always going to run a free group because one of my personal mantras is to give to others without expecting anything in return. That was one of the first lessons I learned from personal development as a coach in this business. What's that book called? The Go-Giver. I love that book. It was one of my first books that I actually connected with and loved. But I'm going to give to other people always. And that's always in the back of my head when I'm having a conversation with someone. I'm going to give to others without expecting anything in return. Same with my coaches. I'm going to give. And if they don't give me anything back in return, that's cool, because my goal is just to help them. But I'm going to lead a free group because that's going to obviously help my personal business, build my contacts, those kind of things. I'm going to invite my new coaches to lead the free group with me. I'm going to invite my new coaches to lead the free group with me, because that right there is setting them up for success in teaching them part of my process, part of my system. I'm going to always lead a challenge group. And again, I'm going to invite new or newer coaches, or coaches that have some cool goals that they're trying to meet, or someone who's almost a success starter. You know, they're really getting in there and they've got to have that third month of hitting Success Club. They're going to help me lead that challenge group as well. And when I'm co-leading has changed my life as a coach. It has empowered successful coaches on my team. It has given them the confidence and the tools to turn around and do it on their own. And now they are co-leading with their new coaches. And so that's that part of being a leader, empowering leadership. That's just inviting someone to co-lead with you because you see promise and potential in them. And that is a compliment that those coaches will appreciate. And they can say no, and that's okay. And we're going to ask someone else to do that. But I love co-leading my free groups and challenge groups. I'm always going to lead a coach training. And whether that is a coach basics, or it's going to be a push to emerald or a push to diamond, there's always training happening on my team every single month. And it's probably going to rotate a little bit. I'm not going to lead a push to diamond every month. I'm not going to lead a push to emerald group every month. I am going to lead a push to emerald call every month, because I always have those coaches that are so close to emerald, and it takes a little bit of tweaking of the conversation, or a little nudge to ask that one person, you know, to be a coach that's going to change someone's business. So I'm always going to have a push to emerald call, but I'm not always going to have a push to emerald group. I'm not always going to have a push to diamond call or group. I don't feel like that's necessarily beneficial. I don't think it's beneficial to do that, because you're kind of almost watering down this, how do I want to say it? This invitation. Because I think if you're going to invite someone to be, and I do invite coaches to be a part of a push to diamond, I don't just like open it up to the masses. If you're going to invite someone to be on a push to diamond, it means that you want to spend your time mentoring them. And that means a lot. And we want to make that almost like an exclusive group, at least for me. I'm always going to have some kind of business opportunity call, open house, or sneak peek every single month. And I'm asking my diamonds, or up and coming diamonds, my emeralds who are pushing to diamond, to be part of that with me, because they are going to be doing it themselves, right? Someday. That's the expectation. We want our little lambs to leave the barn, our birds to fly the coop, whatever you want to say it. We want our awesome rock star coaches to build their teams to the point where they need to leave and lead their own teams. And so if we're mentoring and showing them how to lead a business opportunity call and how to lead an open house or a sneak peek or something like that, they will have the confidence to do it themselves. And they're going to do it the same with their coaches. So duplication breeds duplication. Success breeds success. Confidence breeds confidence, you know. And so I think that through all of these, I'm doing these, but I'm also doing them with my team, not for my team. That's huge. We are always going to have weekly team calls, and I don't lead my team is large enough now that I'm not leading the team call for my team every month. I'm leading bi-weekly calls for my entire downline, and I'm leading bi-weekly calls for my personally sponsored coaches only. I was getting to the point where I wasn't feeling extremely connected with my personally sponsored coaches when I started mentoring and helping and answering the questions on my team page for all the other coaches. And so I really felt the need to connect and reconnect with my PS coaches. And I just had to remind myself, they said yes to me for a reason. And so I need to make myself accessible to them and be there to inspire and motivate them on their business journey every other week as well. And so I have a weekly call. One is for the whole downline, and the other one is for my PS coaches. I also have coach masterminds, which is kind of like what you guys are doing here, what you're calling roundtables. And I mastermind with 3 groups of people. And not every week, okay, but every week I'm going to have at least one mastermind. And I'm going to have a mastermind with my diamonds. I'm going to have a mastermind with my working coaches, my like coaches who are actively working the business, my emeralds who are actively working the business. And then my third is a new coach mastermind. So I love when I'm onboarding new coaches to, obviously connect with them personally, but I want to connect with them in a group like this, in a mastermind. I want to get all my new coaches from, October together, get them on a Zoom call, and just have a conversation. And that's going to let them meet other people on the team, which will help them engage on our team page, which will give them more confidence to co-lead with me, which will give them more confidence to just be a part and engage and become a part of our team culture. So I'm always going to have a mastermind every single week. And so when I'm looking at my calendar, I'm a calendar girl. I use an at-a-glance calendar. I love my phone for organization, but I also love writing things down. I'm looking at my month, like I've already planned November and December. These dates are set. These dates have been communicated with my team and with my leaders, so they know what to expect in the next quarter. And so that helps me. It helps me plan. It helps me stay organized. And so, that's what you're looking at, every single month. And then to work towards every single week and every single day. I know I'm leading a free group the beginning of November. And so, but it's the last week of October. I'm kind of focused on reaching goals and helping my handful of coaches, they're SC4, like, come on, just get that one more point. Like, I'm focused on them. I'm focused on a diamond who's going to lose her diamond, those kind of things. And in the midst of all of that, I have to be like, oh, wait, I start a free group next week. So tonight, I have to advertise that free group. So it just keeps my activity in the right direction. It holds me accountable for always moving forward. And if I've shared that out loud with my team, if I've already asked some of my new coaches to co-lead that free group with me, it holds me accountable. It's just, it's why accountability works. And so that's what I'm doing. But every day, I have business hours for myself. Do you have business hours for yourself? Have you communicated those with your team, with your spouse, with your support system? Do they know what that means when you're working? And do you have unplugged hours every day? That was big for me. When I'm working full time and I'm trying to build this business and it got really ugly. Oh my gosh, did it get ugly? And it was not fun at times. And, but I had to make sure that I had unplugged time. And that's huge. And I always want to mention that because I don't want my children to think, I don't want my husband to think that this is ever more important than them. And so I have to leave this in my office. I turn notifications off during my business hours. When it's time for me to look at that phone, I'll look at the phone. And so, when you're working your business and you're setting those daily goals for yourself, maybe one of those could be some daily unplugged time so that your priorities stay your priorities and never get muddy. So at the end of the day, as leaders, we have a big job and it can get scary and it can get lonely. And I've always found that, that it's so great that you guys have this roundtable and you have each other, because leadership can be lonely. It can be lonely when your leaders start to leave the team. It can get lonely, but we always have to remember that we're here to look beyond wherever you are now. You should be looking beyond diamond. Who are the next leaders? Who are the next people that you're going to groom? And we should always be elevating our lid or our expectations for our team and leading by example and sharing with them our goals and sharing with them our daily activities so they know that we're in the trenches as well. Because if we're modeling that, they're going to take our lead. And what makes us easier to follow, it makes us easier, leaders to be around and to duplicate. So at the end of the day, if you have your goals set and you have a system for your business and for your team, and you're empowering your leaders to join you on that, I think that really amazing things could happen for you guys. So, I just want you to know that, taking it back to the beginning is that your dreams matter. And when this gets hard and the twists and the turns and the whatevers come up, that your dreams matter and that you're absolutely worth the hard work. And I have to remind myself that every day, but it's one of those daily affirmations. Maybe you should work into it. I matter. I'm worth this. And, no matter how hard it is, it's always worth it at the end of the day. So that's what I got for you guys. Or anything here?
Sorry, my computer froze when I tried to unmute. So that was awesome, Erin. I took a bunch of notes. I actually love the picture of your visualization of your kids. Mm-hmm. I'm actually gonna do a post about that, because I also, when I was taking my kids and dropping off super early, I also had a visualization of me dropping them off, walking them to school, and that stuck with me every single day. So I urge you guys to find some picture, maybe on Google Images, that solidifies what your vision is, what your goal is, and put it as your desktop, or print it out and put it somewhere, post about it. Like she said, you need to make it real by sharing it with people. So find something that really solidifies your goal for your business. I love that idea, because I believe also you have to put out to the universe what it is that you're working for. And then you obviously set the action steps every single day. I love the mastermind groups. Actually, I'm going to start doing that. I like the one-on-ones, just like you. I like small groups. I think they work. When you invest time in people, you're going to see results. I did it with Mindy, did it with a lot of actually my diamonds. I'm not a big group person. I like the intimate setting. So we all know that works. I think I'm going to start doing that again, but more with the leaders that are showing me that they want to progress. The unplugged hours, huge. I think we all need that.
Yeah.
We need to recommit to that.
And I think too, I told my husband, this is, I'm not working from 4 to 8 p.m. And, the moment my son gets off the school bus, and it's hard sometimes, because there's somebody that's like, oh, well, I can talk to you at 3:30 or 4. Like, no, my son's getting off the bus. Like, I don't want to be on the phone and getting him off the bus. Like, that is not cool at all. That's not why we're working hard in this business. It's not why I am. But telling that to my husband too, because he tends to get plugged into, and I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And I'm like, hey, I'm unplugged, So we kind of hold ourselves accountable to that, because we all know when our children are screaming at us for attention. And a lot of times we look down, we're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And so I think if we make it a conscious effort, and I tell my son, hey, mommy's unplugged, and he tends to stay unplugged then too. So I feel like it's just, again, leading by example in a new way. And another thing, you guys, that I did with the small groups is having 3-way calls. And I actually have this in my notes. I just forgot to mention it, with an emerald and her future emerald. Huge. That has been huge for me this week. So like my emerald, who's almost diamond, I had a 3-way call with myself, her, and her future emerald. And this works the same way with your diamonds and their future diamonds when they're trying to hit star diamond or whatever. But sometimes your language just hits home a little bit differently than their coach's language. Sometimes that coach hasn't thought about all the different ways that someone could get to emerald or could get to diamond, and hasn't helped them break down their downline and in their challenge groups and who's in their challenge groups. But sometimes, just those little conversations matter. So look at your team, look at your downline a little today as you're checking everything, and say, who's really close? Who's close to making some cool, crazy cool goals happen, and reach out to them and say, who's your next emerald? Let's get them on a call together. And I think that is huge, because also when you reach below you and you mentor people below you, there are even stronger team cultures created. And then you've got that more down, that volume being created, and then just awesome things happen. But never hesitate to reach below as well. I reach out to my diamonds and my emeralds and say, who are your up and coming leaders? Send me their names. And my assistant has their names, and she's sending or posting things on their personal page of words of encouragement or advice or something like that, little pictures, just to make them feel special from me. I don't have time to do all of that. I have an assistant, right, Becky?
I got one already.
And so, so there's little things like that. I mean, I've heard Carl Deichler say more than once that recognition should be the fourth vital behavior. And I truly believe that. The more that we recognize everyone and challengers, our coaches, really great things happen. So I want to throw that in there too. Okay.
And it's scary how many similar things, coincidence that we have. I noticed in one of your pictures, these purple shoes that you have, I have those. And the word elevate, I use that word like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this, what you just mentioned now, is exactly how I got to 15 star. I worked with the 15 diamond, Carol. We got on calls with her 3 potential emeralds, and they all popped at the same time.
Yeah.
I offered to do business opportunity calls for them. I had them in sneak peeks. You guys, you can't, like, what I believe is exactly what she said. You need to go into your downline and make things happen. You can't just like sit back and hope, oh, maybe this week. No, man, go in there and push it. Help them, give them ideas. I even said it on the East Region Elite Push, like, identify your potential rockers and go into their teams and start pushing the way. Like, give them ideas, host calls for them, teach them how to do a business opportunity call, help them. They can possibly advance rank in one day if you step in and push the process forward. So I love that. I'm glad that you reiterated that. And it's freaky that we do the same exact thing.
Well, and something too, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of us are feeling, man, I mean, how many cancellations are we getting? How many coaches are struggling right now? Like, it's really hard right now. And so one of the things that I just did this week that has been really awesome is that I made 3 push groups, and I did this all through private messaging. And I created a diamond push, a revive push, and what I call the chess, like you're playing chess push. And I'll explain that. But, and the 3 groups are different demographics of coaches. Like, all of my diamonds who are literally like, why are you guys not, why are you stagnant? Like, your diamonds, you have coaches like who want to work, like, why are you not moving? So kind of like my coaches who aren't moving, like, who should be moving. I put them in a group. I put my, my push to diamond people in the revive group who just have kind of lost focus a little bit. And then my chess push are my people who say they're going to do stuff, but they never do it. But then they say they're going to do it, and they never do it, because I have said, Arno Nakaha, who's my regional mentor, said, those coaches that aren't doing anything, it's like you're playing chess. You move your chess piece, they have to move theirs or the game is over. And you keep moving it, and you keep moving it, and you keep moving it, but they're not moving. So I call it the chess push. I shared that analogy, and I said, if you're still in the game, then let's do this week. And so every single group has the same task, and it's just for these 5 days where we're doing our miracle morning. We're doing our power of 3s. We're doing our jabs and our hooks on social media, and we are sharing it with our team. And I said, okay, if you're in with me, let's get this momentum going again, friends. Let's get out of our butts that this is a hard month or that things are slow, and let's just keep pushing forward no matter what. And so these push groups, it's just the daily activities that I'm doing every day. And I said, let's just hold each other accountable to it. So I have these 3 message strands going with 3 demographics of coaches, and we're all posting, and not everyone's doing it. Like, that would be an unrealistic expectation, but you better believe that coaches are doing it who haven't done it. They're getting up early and they're doing their miracle morning. That's something that I promote on my team. And it's just doing what a lot of you guys probably do. Get up early, do your PD visualizations, you journal, you get your workout in, that kind of thing. And then you focus, on your business the rest of the day or in your power hour. But that's been really great too. Anytime we can get groups of people together and push together, I think good things happen. Okay, I'm done now. I could go forever.
Oh, this was great. Absolutely great. So many takeaways. Do you guys, anyone have any questions? You can post it in the chat or unmute yourself. Thank you so much, Erin. I love that.
I have a question when you're ready.
Go ahead.
what are the things that you talk about in the push to Emerald call? I kind of like the idea because I think that I keep putting all these groups Diamond and they don't have time to do 30, 45 videos and all that.
Right. Let me see if I can find my notes. I have notes on that. So on my call, I basically would go through kind of like, let me see
Roscoe.
here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
It's so loud in here today, Lord have mercy.
You know what? We all work from home. It's okay. Okay, let me see here. Okay, here's what I kind of talked about. So I invited my team to join me, and I said, if you're wanting to be an Emerald this week, get on this call. I said, the expectation is that you're going to get off this call and you're going to go make Emerald happen. Because my thing is, I say that Emerald is a decision. It truly is. It is a decision because it's two coaches. It's signing up your spouse and it's signing up your mom or your best friend. It is truly, someone can go Emerald in 2 hours if they truly wanted to. So I say that, like, if you're ready to be Emerald by the end of this week, please jump on this call. We did have 3 coaches on our team become Emerald. No, 4 coaches become Emerald last week. So I think that it worked. So let's see here. So I talk about, why Emerald is important and what it gets you. Okay, just the basics of Emerald, like the team cycle bonus a little bit, and also then the customer lead program, or Success Club lead program that you can qualify for. So what does it get you? Then I talk to them about, how to do it, like what that means. And I share with them my recruiting invitation, my coaching invitation to people. So I give them my language of how I present the business opportunity to a challenger, to someone who's not a challenger, to someone who's just going to be a contact or something like that. So I do that. What else did I do? Oh, I helped them see and understand that why, because one of my number one mistakes, or I guess if I could go back and change one thing, was that I did not sign my husband up as a coach immediately. And so I share with them why that was a mistake. And because David, my husband, is kind of far down on my downline in my first CDC. And we are losing out on hundreds of dollars, if not $1,000 a week on team cycle bonus because of his placement. Because I did not place him immediately below me. And I explained that to them, that if you are in this business, if you are going to be here 1 year from now, your husband should be a coach tomorrow. Do you want the 21-day fixed extreme? Yes, you do. Do you want Body Beast so you can work with me? Yes, just go get it, sign your husband up. And then I help them see and put it in perspective that it is only 6 Shakeology home direct orders that's going to cover that Shakeology and yours. But also I remind them they only need 50 PV to keep their coach or their spouse active. And that can also mean the performance line. It can also mean the booth products. It can be other products that they're purchasing. It doesn't have to be 2 orders of Shakeology. Then I let them see what they can do with those extra Shakeology bags or packets. What can you do with extra Shakeology when you get it? Those kind of things. You can lead a shake and share. You can do a Shakeology test group. You can, give free samples. You can do things with your extra Shakeology. So this is a business expense, and investing in our business pays out in the end, especially if you're going to be here 1 year from now. Your spouse needs to be a coach tomorrow. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I say. I help them see and understand how it's going to benefit someone to be a coach. Take away the stigma of why it's scary. I was a coach immediately. Like, I signed up as a coach when I bought my challenge pack because that's how it was presented to me. So it's very easy for me to present that to someone else, and I just share with them my story, like why me becoming a coach immediately was a good thing for me. I needed the savings. I needed the accountability. I wanted to be part of a team of all these positive people, and that was attractive to me. So I just removed the stigma of inviting as well. I give them the tangibles, and that's what I do in a call.
I love that.
Those are very good tips. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love the idea of just like, right now I'm like, I want to message 2 people that are like, can you freaking sign up your spouse already? Yeah, it's a decision. It is. It's a decision. It's like, do it. And I love saying that if you're going to be here a year from now, then you have to invest. You got to go in. I actually didn't sign up Larry right away either, but I got lucky because a person was going to cancel at the top spot. So I was able to bring him in
That's
at
awesome.
the top, but that was complete luck. But
Yeah.
I didn't know either. No one told me that I should sign him up right away. I agree. Valid point. Any other questions? Anyone else? Don't be shy.
You know, I stopped doing free groups because I just didn't have time, and I think that was the only thing that was okay. And I know the importance, but I realized that when I don't do a free group, my team doesn't do a free group. Even though I put it in the calendar, I'm like, do a free group, they won't do it. How do you manage it? Do you think it's still worth your time to do these free groups where you're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, those are my contacts for the next 2 months, the free groups. I mean, they really are. And so the thing of it is with a free group is you have to, I think, make it meaningful for you too. So it's not like we can do clean eating groups constantly. And so, we need to be like, okay, like I live in Indiana. It's rainy and cold right now. People are wanting crock pot meals, right? I mean, people are having football parties on Sundays, and eating unhealthy. Well, let's do, some kind of free group. What is it? And I have to ask myself, what is it that people need that they don't know that they need right now? And that's the free group that I'm going to lead. And so, like, for example, I was doing, hammer and chisel. Everybody wanted a glimpse of this. They're like, what the heck are you lifting? Like, what are those weights? So I led a free Beachbody on demand group. I'd never done that before, but because my audience was watching me lift, they wanted to get in on that, and they wanted their sneak peeks of hammer and chisel. That's what they wanted. And I had a lot of amazing people doing that. There was 1 week, and it was before hammer and chisel. It was like, I don't know, a month before it or something like that, where I was like, oh my gosh, we've eaten out 5 nights this week. What the heck is going on in my family? Like, what is going on? Because I hadn't meal planned or prepped. Things were busy. Things were crazy. I was like, okay, we're not eating out for the next 7 days. So I led a free group where it's a no eating out challenge, and so it's just like, what do people need that they don't know that they need? And so you're going to make it valuable to you too. Do you need to work on your core, your abs, tighten your booty? Let's do that, and that's, again, you're going to co-lead it. So you're not going to post every day. And the best thing to do is create an event invitation for that, because then you're able to invite a large group of people, and it's public on Facebook. Other people are going to see it, and then your coaches can become part of that event invite, and everyone can invite from there. And you can either run the free group from the event page, or then you create your secret Facebook group, post the link to join in that event page, and it's so smooth and seamless. All you need is like maybe 30 minutes to sit down and organize it with your co-leaders. So if you don't have to lead it by yourself. Grab some of your other coaches and say, let's do this together. I'm going to post on Monday, you post on Tuesday, you post on Wednesday. Let's upload a couple of our meal plans, and that's all you do. You just provide the feeling of a challenge group. You provide your services and make yourself feel like a resource that they never want to leave. That's that free group.
And let me ask you a question. Are for that? I love that idea. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Nancy, we'll talk after. Are you making them assign you as their coach?
Okay, so right. So after they join the free group, okay, because you go in and you make a Facebook group, and you make it. What are the 3 options? It's not secret. It's the one above that. I don't know. And you can make a link. Okay, you copy and paste that link. So when people go in to join, you've seen your people who are joining. And then once they join, yes, you are absolutely going to send them a message that says, okay, well, since we're doing this, I want to connect you to me as, customer, go to this website, and you give them your website to get a free membership. The Beachbody On Demand was the easiest one ever, because they needed to go sign up to get their free trial. I mean, that was the easiest one to get people to sign up, and I take away the fitness stigma. I mean, if it's not a fitness related group, we don't have to work out. We're just focusing on that one thing, and it's pretty easy. But yeah, I don't get everybody to sign up for a free membership. I ask them to.
Mm-hmm. In regards, to the Beachbody On Demand, did they give you a hard time that they have to put their credit card information first?
They didn't. Mm-mm.
And you sent them the message, say, hey, just a reminder.
It's a free trial. Yeah. In order to, they weren't gonna be able to access the workouts in the group if they didn't have the trial. So, they wouldn't be able to participate. So, that, like I said, that was the easiest group to get people to go all in because they had to actually subscribe to get the workouts for free.
I want to do that.
No one cared. No one said anything to me about it. I told them this is a free trial. And so once you sign up, then, your subscription will begin 30 days later. And I put all of it's like when somebody gets Shakeology, I put their name on my calendar then 1 month from then. So like when I look at November, I'm like, oh, here are all the people whose Shakeology orders are going to be filling this month. Or here are my people that signed up for BOD. On Wednesday, they're going to be, charged for their subscription. I'm going to send a message out to them, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And if someone has a problem with it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a trial. That's not, I don't know. That's just the way a trial works.
Did you find some people are scared that all the people want to do is stay on demand and they don't want to buy a program and they don't want to get on Shakeology? Have you seen that's happened with that group, or did they go on to purchase?
No, they all wanted to be part of my next challenge group. And so the expectation of my next challenge, not all of them, that's crazy to say all of them, but 4 or 5 of them. And so, no, I had that conversation. What are your goals? How did it go? Yada, yada. I have this starting. Here's what my groups do. Is this something that you would like to try and see how it goes? The expectation of all of my challenge groups is that you're doing a Beachbody program, that you're drinking Shakeology, and that you're going to hold yourself accountable to the group. And, some people were skeptical, but the people who didn't want to leave me or this feeling, they're going to stick around.
Yeah. That's the key. You'll always find some that are going to want to continue the camaraderie, the group, being close to you. There's always going to be people like that.
Yeah. And then the people that don't, that's okay, because then they go on your next month follow-up list. And then you just check in and say, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. How are your goals coming along? And they're going to be like, they're not, and then they're going to be reminded again, I think. So it just adds a name to your follow-up, that person that doesn't join.
Great content. Thank you. Anything else, Jeanette?
No, sorry.
No, you have great questions. You had great questions. Okay, so we're coming up on an hour, so I don't want to take up more of your time. Does anybody else have a quick question for her? Yadi, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Just a quick question. Erin, you mentioned that you share a link when they join the free group. What link is, how do I get the link?
I'll show you. Here, let me show you. Let me pull up Facebook.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're in a group, let me just show you one of these groups. Let me get into a group. Okay. Hold on. All right, so, okay, I'm going to share my screen. Hold on a sec. I'm navigating here. Okay, so when you can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of have to move it because your faces are in my way here. Okay, so basically when you're in one of your Facebook groups, and you click over here on maybe settings or whatever this is, you go to edit group settings.
Okay.
And then this is your group. This is how you can change the name of your group or whatever. My groups are closed when they begin. That's what I was trying to remember, closed. If a group is closed, then someone can request to join if they find that group, So, okay, but here's the thing here is I created, for you in your group, I've already created this address. If you haven't created one yet, it'll say set or create a customized address. And so that's what I did here. So I created a customized web address for this group. So all I have to do is copy and paste this into my event invitation and say, okay, if you're in, click here to join. And then people click there to join, but then I have to approve them. Okay. So I only click to approve them once they've made their purchase, or they've joined or done whatever they needed to do, the preliminary things that they needed to do. So this can helps you know who wants to join, and then allows you to have that conversation. Okay, well, have you purchased this, that, whatever you needed to do? And this is great when you're co-leading, because then your coaches can do the same. They can copy and paste and use this here, click here to join my group or whatever. But this is nice too, because then I will put this in my old challenge groups that are maybe going to roll into the new one. And, all my current people or my current coaches, I'll share this on my team page. Hey, who needs accountability? Who needs me as their coach? You guys, you need to stay all in on your journey. If you went in on my next challenge group, you know what it means. Just click here to join. And so it allows me to keep my coaches engaged on their journey too. And I don't have to add people. I don't have to say who's in, me, and then I'm adding people. No, they just click on this link to join. And then I have to click check to approve them. But you just want to make sure that after, your group is all set, and this group just started, people are still joining, I'm going to change it back to secret. So crazy people on Facebook can't join.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I do that.
That's awesome. All right, anybody else?
Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, that was awesome content. I hope you guys run with some of these ideas, because I think, it's going to help you navigate the, November and December and build new contacts, which is always what we're looking to do every single day, provide value and then convert. So I hope you took great notes. I will post the recording in a little while, but thank you, Erin. So amazing. Your ideas, your success, everything. I'm appreciative.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Like, awesome. So I guess that's it. Did you work out already? Erin?
Yep. Got it.
I love that workout.
Done.
Hammer conditioning. All right, guys. Oh, let's do a picture. Yadi always remembers. I always forget. All right, everybody smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, got it. All right, guys. Well, till next week. Keep pushing. Hit Success Club. Get your teams on board. And I love those private threads. I've been doing that with my new coaches to get them pushing to Success Club, and it's working. There's a lot of interaction, ideas bouncing around. So I would definitely suggest you do those private threads with your teams. And I love the idea of the different types of coaches. So awesome. Thank you, guys. Erin, you rock. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye, everybody.